Hello everyone, welcome back to Shave with Peglight. Yes, we got a different camera angle today because I'm back to using my phone for a second, because I already started this video and I got a couple minutes into it and the camera shut off due to low battery, which apparently something wasn't plugged in completely to charge the battery. It happens. Alright, while I mix the lather here, we'll talk and then I'll get into the items we're using. That picture that I posted, that's my Finnish M39 Mosin Nagant, made in 1949, originally came out in 1939, and was greatly feared by Russian troops because of its superior accuracy. In 1917, Finland won its independence from the Soviet Union, Russia, and they didn't have money to buy weapons for their army that they were going to have to form. But they had a ton of Mosin Nagants laying around, and they said, well, let's save some money and just improve on these old clunkers, which they did. They used the receivers and the magazine, but that's pretty much all they used of the old Mosin Nagants. You know, the bolt, the receiver, the magazine. They put new barrels on them. Mine's a BTK. Don't ask me how to pronounce the name of the company. BTK, it really is, but alright, it's a BTK. And there was Seiko barrels too. Seiko's one of your prime rifle makers today. They make very fine, accurate rifles. Okay, so anyways, so does BTK. But anyways, that one's a BTK barrel. They changed the barrels, the stocks. They put the semi-pistol or the pistol grip on the stock. Well, semi-pistol grip on the stock. And it's because Mosin Nagants are a straight stock, and the Finns put the pistol grip into it, which has got a nice handhold. And they really emphasized accuracy out of their rifles, as opposed to the Nagants, which can shoot. You can be 10 feet away from the side of the barn, aim at the middle of the barn, and hit on the edge of the barn. Anyways, so today, PAA, Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements, Home on the Range, which you cannot get anymore. That's the pour. It smells like Hoppy's number 9 gun cleaner with a pinch of gunpowder. The brush is just a no-name black handle 22mm Badger. Using my chicken soup bowl. And the razor is the new style Otto Kampfe, I don't know if you can read that, DE with a triple coated Schick stainless steel blade on its third use. So anyways, what I was saying, I'm going to try and do this without the fan. The Finns upgraded the rifles, basically. And they also, later on, changed the caliber a little bit. And they were using, the Russian ammo was 7.62 by 54R. R stands for rimmed. And the Finns changed it to 7.62 by 53R, but you can use both ammos in the rifles. The D-marked rifles, as mine is, use what they called D166 ammo. It's a 200 grain boat tail ammo or bullet of .310 diameter. The original Mosin-Nagants are .309 diameter bullets. They upgraded it by .001. First pass with the grain. And yes, the shave is late because it's going on 3 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday. So anyways, the standard ammo for a 7.62 by 54 hours, 169 or 165 grain bullet. And these were 200 grain. They have better stability at range. Now, if you notice in that picture, there's a bunch of baggies with ammo in it. Those are my hand loads that I had not gotten to test yet. I went into the hospital after I made that ammo before I got to the range to have my right leg amputated below the knee. So I haven't been to the range yet. I'm still not good with going to the range right now. Maybe in a few months I will. Probably after summer. But anyways. Oops. So anyways, I don't know if Lapua makes this ammo or not anymore, but they used to make as of 5 years ago, they used to make a copy of that ammo, and they listed it in both 54R and 53R. The 200 grain bullet, because that rifle favors the heavier bullet. It's more accurate with the heavier bullet. Now, I went down to Mayaca City, to the Mayaca City Gun and Archery Club range. Which is about an hour and a half drive south of here. And the reason I went there is all the ranges around here, rifle ranges close to me, are 100 yards. Oops. Oh, I'm supposed to go this way. All right, never mind. They're 100 yards. They have a 100, 200, 300, and 600 yard range. Now, to get on the 600 yard range, you have to do a 5-shot qualifying course on the 300 yard range to get a certificate saying that you are capable of using the 600 yard range. It's no extra cost. It's just you have to qualify to get the certificate, which I did. My rifle is already sighted for 100 for my local ranges, so I just clicked it up a couple notches, adjusted the scope, and was able to hit the qualification. But now I had to move out double that range to 600 yards. Not as easy as it sounds. I'm going to post a picture here. You can pause if you want and then listen to what I describe it, or you can just look at it real quick and just listen to me yak. Now, if you see this grouping, now mind you, this is a 74-year-old rifle at that time. It's 79 years old now. It was a 74-year-old rifle at that time. If you notice, there's a string of 5 shots on the left of center, that go from above center to below center. Now, the very top one was after I adjusted my scope where I thought I could hit the target at 600, and I did. But the drift was a little more than I anticipated. I didn't adjust left or right. I didn't do the vertical. I didn't do the horizontal. I just did vertical. So, okay. I hit that first one a little high. Adjusted scope. Hit the very bottom one way down. Went too far. Adjusted back up and hit the second one down. Then just a little more, hit the third one down, just a little more, hit the fourth one down. And I said, okay, that's pretty close. Now let me do my horizontal. And I drifted the scope over. And if you see, there's a big diamond, then a small diamond, and then a really small diamond in the center that's around a clear spot, no marking, bullseye. Okay, there's a hole between that second diamond and the third diamond on the inside. There's one that's a little high. Okay, so I did another click over, one click. That's all it took. Boom. Next 4 shots are that grouping right on the bullseye at 600 yards with a 74-year-old rifle. And a box of 20 rounds, well, I had 2 of them, but they were 20 rounds a box, PAA D166 ammo, that were $33 a box for 20 rounds. 5 years ago. I don't even know what they are now. Don't even know what they are now. I'm just going to do a cleanup pass at this point. And after I fired that final shot, it was just like a minute or 2 after that they called a cold range, ceasefire on the range. And that scope that's on the rifle in the picture you see is actually a handgun scope. It's only 3 to 9 power. But because of where it has to be mounted on the receiver or on the rifle, it has to be forward of the receiver because it has a vertical. The bolt handle on the rifle is, when it's down and locked and firing, sticks straight out. You got the rifle here and the bolt sticks out that way. It doesn't curve down like your modern hunting rifles. It's straight out. It's a military bolt. And you lift it up to straight up over the rifle, pull it back, push it forward, pull it back down. Not the greatest action in the world, but the Finns worked with what they had, and they put better barrels on them, better stocks, better ammo, and they made do with what they had and terrorized the Russians with it. I still got some on the neck. I'm going to redo my neck. and terrorized the Russians with those rifles from 1939 to the end of the war with the Russians, because they were so flippin' accurate. They could pick Russians off at distances the Russians couldn't hit a barn with the original Mosins. Now the Mosin that got action, the receiver, is probably one of the of that time, modern, for that time, the worst, one of, if not the worst, receivers made. They were not that good. The action is clunky and choppy, and it's not that good. But I fixed mine I coated the bolt and the insides of the receiver where the bolt travels with valve lapping compound. I don't know if you ever worked on cars. Sometimes you have to lap the valves. You got a little thingy and you rub it in between your hands. It's a stick with two suction cups on it, a smaller one and a bigger one depending on your valve size. You put it on the valve and it suction cups to it. You put valve compound underneath it and you do this with it in your hand. It kind of wears itself to get a good seat. Wears itself in. And that's what I did with that to make it smoother. And I did that for about 150 times. I had to put a couple of times with the valve lube, valve grinding compound. I think like 3 times I did valve grinding compound on it to get it so it would lap in place. And that's a good shave, gentlemen. I keep opening this thing up down here. But other than that, good shave. But if I don't believe in sacrifice to the shaving gods, they'll come hunting for me. I do like the scent of this soap. I don't think you, like I said, I didn't see it on their site. I may have missed it, but I don't think I did. And they're definitely not making CK1 anymore. Everything's CK6 now. I think it's one of their discontinued scents. And I'm sorry if you don't have any, because it is a good scent. I've been thinking about adding a few drops of Hoppy's number 9 to it, but I think that would make it too icky. It might affect the soap itself, the base. So, Gentleman John Elmbuck. That's the story of my M39. I'm good. To at least, I could have gone a little higher. We'll fix that tomorrow. I could have gone, I'm good to at least 600 yards. And with a couple of adjustments, easily 1,000. But I don't think there's 1,000. There might be 1,000 yard range in Florida, more in the northern part of the state, but I'm not driving hours to go shoot at 1,000 yard range, especially not in the condition I'm in now. All those reloads I have in there are different powders, different charges on those powders. I've got like 12 batches. I've got 3 different powders and 4 different lots of powder charge per powder. And those are 0.311 or they're 0.311 bullets. So they're 0.001 diameter bigger than the bore, which if you use too many of them, you will wear your bore out. You will make it a smooth bore. But I don't plan on using that many. Which Hazel? Walgreens tape? Cheap shit. So, but that is my favorite rifle. because of the age. Oh, the receiver on that rifle is a Mosin Nagant Russian receiver from 1898. I had to pull the rifle out of the stock, which I already did because I've upgraded the trigger on it, so it's a little smoother, because the original triggers are crap. But I upgraded. There was an upgrade kit somebody was selling a few years ago, and I got it, and it is much better trigger now. And when I had it apart, I checked, because the date for the receiver is on the underside, covered up by wood. On the back tangs of it that attach to the stock, there's one long tang that comes off the receiver and attaches to the stock, and it's on the bottom side of that. I can't get the lid off the aftershave. For another purpose than this, but it'll work. And it did. Oh, that was way too much. Okay, let's see if we can get away with that amount. Great scent. It really is a great scent. It's not that strong. On a scale of 1 to 5, this is a 2. Nivia Max Hydration. Okay. All right, gentlemen, that's the story of my M39. Oh, by the way, I don't know how much that rifle goes for now, but when I bought it off a used rack, military surplus rack at a local gun shop, I paid $75 for it. That's when Mosin's Nagants were going for $70, $75 anywhere. I mean, the last time I looked, the Mosin Nagants were going around $300 to $325. They might be higher now, but the Finnish M39s are the Cadillac of Russian Mosin Nagants. And I absolutely love that rifle. It is a fantastic shooter, as you can see. That was 600 yards, and I killed that bullseye. Killed it. Shooting from a bench rest, yes, I know. It's a lot different than offhand, but still, the rifles are deadly accurate. The Finns did those rifles proud. All right, guys, I appreciate it. You being here, appreciate you watching. Don't forget the affiliate link to the razor company. If you're going to buy from the razor company, please use that. Yes, I get a kickback, but when I do, and that account hits $25, I get a $25 gift card to the razor company and give it to you guys. You're the ones that use the affiliate link, so you're going to get the gift card. I'm not using that from my own pocket. I appreciate that. Don't forget the 4 channels I will put in the description box. Please subscribe to them. I'm sure they'd like to see their numbers go up. Give them a like and a sub. They surely would appreciate it. So also, thank you again for being here, listening to my little story. And with that, I will say enough of the babbling fat guy in the camera. You're in the chair next. Happy shaves out there, guys.